Hi, friends. The story we're going to read today is Turtle Spring by Deborah Turney Zigwin. For Clee, it was a summer of hellos and goodbyes. Clee's relatives came, Clee's relatives went. But her new red faced baby brother stayed for good. Aren't you the lucky one? Everyone insisted from orbits around the crib. Clee felt like a lost moon. One visitor, Uncle Fish Tank Hal, knew all about lost moons. Clee's family called him Fish Tank because he lived on a barge with aquariums for windows. I have brought something for Clee, he boomed. She's bungeed to my bike and she ain't happy about the trip. Then Fish Tank Hal whispered in Clee's ears. She's a rebel with no cause, jumped Tank. One time too many. She ain't a gift for a baby. She's too big and would only pinch it. Clee knew the feeling. It was late summer when Clee's father said goodbye. Uncle Fish Tank Hal was ferrying him to an island off the coast. It's a big job, Clee's father told her ruefully. I won't be finished for months. September was quiet without the sound of Clee's father whistling in the garden. There were no hammering on the porch or firewood thumping in the woodshed sounds. The apples ripened without him. In the sandbox, Clee's turtle sunned herself. She looked contented, having just gobbled 3 worms. Her split pea eyes were smiley slits. The autumn sun lasted until mid October, and then the wind blew it away. Sometimes Clee worried that the turtle had escaped, but then found her under a roof of leaves having a nap. You should consider bringing her in at the night, Clee's mother advised. It's getting colder, too cold for a southern breed of turtle. In November, the house was full of baby. Afternoons, his crabby time, Clee, her mother braid stuck out over her one ear. One morning, Clee dreamed that she had forgotten something. The feeling tugged her awake and pulled her outside to the sandbox. The ground was crunchy under Clee's feet, and the sand was hard and cold to the touch. Her turtle was missing. The shabby leaves offered no shelter now. Why didn't I take her inside? Why didn't I take her inside? Clee's teeth chattered. Clee examined the frost at her feet. No clues, no turtle. Looking closer, she noticed traces of scrambling and clawing in one corner. There, brittle leaves and sticks had formed a frozen ramp. Her turtle had escaped over this and under the garden fence. The tracks in the frost ended at the compost pile. That's where Clee found her, beneath a layer of grass, clipping and rotting leaves. In an effort to stay warm, the turtle had pulled her feet and head into the heart of her shell. Now she was stone still, stone cold. Later, Clee told her mother about burying the turtle in the compost heap. I made the hole deep so the coyotes won't dig it up. Her mother held her close and smoothed her hair. Sometimes, even carrying a house on your back can't keep you safe when you are a southern breed of turtle. Clee's mother said gently. The northern seasons slip one into the other, and weather can bring both good and bad surprises. December brought bitter weather. Clee's father's voice crackled over the radio telephone. Work's dragging on. Wind's fierce. I am marooned. The receiver spat out. A pile of snow grew between the sandbox and the garden compost. Clee imagined her turtle curled up and frozen beneath it. The storms continued. There has never been a winter, gloated the radio weatherman, like this one. Clee's house grew a shell of snow. Inside, only her brother was lively, rolling, sitting, crawling, and sucking on everything inside. He loved the warm kitchen best. The January sun dawned bright and cold. Clee scratched pictures of her for her brother in the window frost. She showed him how to breathe holes in the lace pattern. The countryside was paper white. Winter games were written with mittens and boots on a pad of snow. Snow angels, snow forts, snow trails, snowballs, snowmen. Clee sat her little brother in a baking pan and twirled him until he was silly, giggling, dizzy. Beyond the bank was the sandbox, and beyond that, the compost mound. Clee never made trails for her brother in that direction. In late February, the snow changed. It became gritty like frozen sand. Old snow, sighed Clee's mother. Sugar snow, wrote Clee's father. Over and over it melted, freezing into an icy crust. In early March, Clee could walk on it. Sometimes flakes of snow fell, but the afternoon sun winked them away. The winds blew lukewarm and playful from the south. Spring melt, sang Clee's mother. Job's done, wrote Clee's father. Be home soon. By early April, the big snowbanks were disappearing. The garden emerged shabby and moist. In the morning, steam from the compost heap wafted over the sandbox. Like it was cooking, Clee thought sourly. A week later, Clee noticed the flowers in the corner of her sandbox. Crocuses and snowdrops, her mother smiled, messengers of spring. Clee carried her squirming brother onto the porch for a closer look. The sharp, sweet smell of old and new growth drew them to the garden's edge. Clee set him down in a corner of the sandbox. Yes, there were flowers growing out of the sand, the green tipped grass shoots too. Clee squatted next to her brother and tried not to look at the compost pile. But she could see it out of the corner of her eye, and worse than that, little gusts of wind were lifting the leaves. There was movement. Clee bit her lips to stop the tears. Clee's little brother saw it first. A patchwork creature was inching into its way down the compost slope. The boy fell back into the wet sand laughing. He was thrilled to have found a creature who crawled slower than he did. As for Clee, she could not believe her eyes. Her turtle was very much alive and always had been. It was heading towards the sandbox with a sure-footed stubbornness that Uncle Fish Tank Hal knew well. A rebel with no cause, jumped Tank one time too many. The northern season had slipped one into the other, but her southern breed turtle had its own calendar, knowing when to tunnel and sleep and when to wake up. It was the best surprise. Kee! Her little brother chuckled and poured sand down her boot. Is that not a very beautiful story? I really, really love it. How the girl patiently and calmly waits for the turtle. In her thoughts, she thinks the turtle is alive. I really like the story. Tell me, how did you like the story in the comments section? I'd love to hear from you. I'll catch you guys with another storybook. Bye.